So I keep on walking, yeah. As I keep on walking, my enemies keep.
Mention the words domestic abuse and the image that comes to mind is a woman being beaten by a man. However, there has been a noted increase in the number of reported cases of male domestic violence. However, we still struggle with the idea. In fact, men involved in domestic abusive relationships are teased and even ridiculed as a result of it.
Of course, my wife always do things to abuse me verbally. You know, my wife has taken a knife to stab me. I brought it to the civil case. I brought it to the civil court. And I withdrew the matter because I found it was not looking nice for a husband and wife to be going to court. It was hurting the children, and I could have seen that. I dropped the case because of that. You know, trying to live a good life. And all this stemmed up because of situations that I caught my wife in. You understand me? Say that she was leaving for work one Sunday and she never reached work.
Kerwin John, not his real name, says this incident represents the tip of the iceberg. The father of four has been involved in a 14-year abusive relationship with his wife. He has suffered physical, emotional, and psychological scars from the woman he loves dearly. John says his wife has acknowledged that what she is doing is wrong, but has promised to change. Beatings, anger tantrums, and vindictiveness have still not been adequate reasons for him to leave her. But why does he stay? The reasons given reflect answers women generally give in cases of domestic violence perpetuated against them.
I have gone through incidents where, you know, I cannot sleep in the house. You know, it's just miserable, not talking to my wife for months. Right now it's over a year, you know, and she would go through some situations right now because she has all the rights, because the family court has given her the rights. And I would be in the house watching television, and she would call her men, or she would call her man, you know, just to provoke me. You understand? And all these that I have seen and have tried my best to just, you know, because I have made up a simple and a definite decision that it is finished. You understand? I cannot carry on in that relationship.
So why didn't you leave her earlier on? Why did you stay in that relationship?
Because of the children. And that was my sole concern, because of what she told me. An incident that happened with she and her daughter, and I was not trusting her. She told me she was in some whatever with her child father, and the child was just 3 years old. And she took the child to the road in Masha, and her sole motive was to send the child in front of a moving vehicle. How can you trust a woman like that with your kids?
John adds the abuse and embarrassment gets worse whenever his wife is intoxicated.
She has a 2-year-old baby. The 2-year-old baby stopped taking milk from her breast at the age of 2 weeks because she keep drinking rum, you know, and that is causing most of the problems. You know, she would leave work. Instead of coming home to check on her children, she would stay on the street or go wherever and drink. You know, the children and I are the ones who have been cleaning up her mess most of the times. You know, I have brought officers, made reports. Officers have been to the house to see her in a mess with vomit all over her. Drunk, she cannot even talk.
But John says things were not always like that. The relationship started off in what has been dubbed the honeymoon phase. However, it quickly turned sour because of his wife's blatant promiscuity.
Things turned sour when, you know, my wife started going and do her business. When I saw her in different compromising situations, you know, with men, you understand, and brought it to her attention, and it would cause a problem. But the reason why I have stayed in this relationship for so long, as I have said, is because of the children. Okay? Mr. Vellon John, in our hearing in 2009, he ordered her out of the house. He ordered that this relationship was, how did he say it, irretrievable. I was the one who stood up and told him that I proved him wrong, and I am going to try to work it out because of the kids.
But John is certainly not the only man facing this problem. During a meeting with officials at the St. Lucia Crisis Center, other male domestic abuse victims shared similar stories. During the counseling sessions, they were encouraged to leave their domestic abuse partners and move on to healthy, happier relationships. Abdul Mohammed is one of the men receiving counseling at the institution. He says his 10-year relationship has been tainted by abuse and frustration.
Oh yes. Slap me in my face already. Okay? Take her hand and slap me in my face with it. Call me tell me I'm smelling and I stink in my own home with me. Before, we never had that. She came to me when I called her, I cautioned her. I said this and this to her. She looked at me, I tell you already, she's just hitting me on my head.
Mohammed adds, however, despite several other instances of abuse, he stays in the relationship because he believes his wife will change.
The reason why I stayed with her, I looked at it, acknowledgement, people can change. People will do things out of anger. People will do things out of different modes of life. So I said, we've never had that. A change can come. I said, let's go and pray together, asking Allah to forgive us whatever we have done. That's my reason, part of my reason staying, to make my children's life be a success.
The St. Lucia Crisis Center says more men than ever before are coming to the institution with cases of domestic abuse. Communications Officer Andrew Seeley says in many of the cases, men are suffering in silence, especially because they are ridiculed, even by police, when they report cases of domestic violence.
Domestic abuse has traditionally been seen as something that men do to women. But the reality is, it happens on both sides of the equation. You have men who abuse women, and women who abuse men. And this is something that a lot of people probably might not be aware of because of the fight that has been going on where women have come out to highlight their plight, to highlight cases of men abusing them. So this has been in the limelight, and people recognize that this is a problem. But because men have been more reserved and into themselves, so to speak, and it is also sort of cultural, would I call it a norm, that men are not supposed to cry, men are not supposed to complain about these issues, that you find that in the past, men have suffered in silence.
Seeley cites cases where men have lost their lives while in a domestic abusive relationship. He highlights the example of police officer Lucan Lesmore. Lesmore's live-in girlfriend has since been charged for his murder and awaits trial.
There is this case of a gentleman who had made several reports to the police. His family was aware. I mean, when I say his family, I mean his brothers and his parents even were aware of what was taking place in his home. And they tried to really get him to leave that house and forget the relationship. But what happened was that the wife kept promising to mend her ways, and he would give in, he would go back, and because I think his brother told me that he had gone personally to get him out of the house on more than one occasion. But eventually the wife would soften him up, promise that it won't happen again, and so on, and he eventually went back, and eventually he lost his life. The same kind of thing that men do, because you have cases where the women get coerced by the men, and they promise them that things will be better and so on. So they go back and they end up suffering more abuse. So it works on both sides of the equation. The men are themselves falling victims to that same kind of promise to do better next time, and it doesn't happen.
Silly says what further discourages men from coming forward with their cases is what he describes as the judicial system's blatant bias towards women.
We have quite a number of cases on file of men who have been victims of not only verbal and emotional abuse, but physical abuse itself. And a lot of them say they just walk away because they realize that if they have to use force, they might go too far. And so a lot of them just walk away from the situation. And but the thing is, the women continue to provoke them. Now, one of the things that we've learned is that is coming from reports from one particular family. Some of the women recognize that the laws are on their side, and so they want to provoke the men to raise their hands. So they keep up with the verbal, emotional abuse so that the men would eventually do something physical. And the moment this happens, they go and call the police. And the police, I believe the police need to be trained in this respect as well, because some of the policemen, the woman comes to make a report without questioning the situation. They just go to arrest the men. Sometimes they don't even allow the men to give their sides of the story, because the woman has reported a physical abuse. They go and they arrest the men. And some women have confessed that they inflict wounds on their own bodies and then make reports to the police so that the police can arrest the men, because they know that this is the way the system operates.
I find the laws right now, a lot of the laws need to be changed, because judges and lawyers have spoken out clearly to say that most of the laws right now, the laws are implicated against men. And they know that, but they cannot change it, you know. I find right now, the men have to get together. The men has to get serious to have a men's organization, you know, to rally around men. Because most of the suicidal going on right now in St. Lucia is men. Men are the ones taking their life because of the family problem.
I'm seeing that there is no what you call rights for me as a man. Only what there is, a woman is not human rights. We don't have that here practicing. We have woman rights. If a woman says something, the police come, they put together, they come and listen to what she says, a story. They don't ask you nothing. When they come, they're already the persecutor. All of this happened to me.
That is such a sad situation that we face here in St. Lucia. Suicides have been on the increase in recent years, and the sad thing is the majority of cases are young men in their prime. And so that means the society loses, the community itself loses, and the families suffer as a result. These men, they figure that they have nowhere to turn, and as a result, they end up committing suicide. It's like they see their situation as hopeless.
It should be noted that women are overwhelmingly the victims of domestic abuse compared to men. The St. Lucia Crisis Center offers assistance to persons involved in abusive relationships, irrespective of gender. Stay with us as we go off limits with the youth in Youth Talk.
What will happen when you retire? How much money have you put aside? Will it be enough to live comfortably? Fix is your solution. The Senior Citizens Investment Plan to gain your financial independence. The Senior Citizens Monthly Interest Investment Plan to earn an extra monthly income. The Supplementary Pension Program. Benefit from a lump sum payment to protect your future standard of living. Your retirement must be taken seriously. Call or visit us today. Fix. Save now to build a better future.
And you are?
Wendy.
And what is it you're going to sing for us today?
I'm Not Afraid by Eternal.
Go ahead.
And I'm not afraid.
With that kind of voice, you should be very afraid. You need to go down to People's Discount Drugstore. Et manger, vieux voir ça.
At People's Discount Drugs, we know what's important to you, good health. So whatever your ailment, our professional pharmacist will give you that personalized service to get you back in shape in no time. People's Discount Drugs, we make your health our business.
I'm not afraid.
You're on your way. People's Discount Drugstore. Bien manger.
Congratulations, you. Good job.
People's Discount Drugs, your caring St. Lucian pharmacist.
Think about the future of your children. Who will pay to educate them? Christmas or birthdays are ideal moments to start saving for their future. Fix has created a special education plan to help you to do so. Remember, saving for your children's education is the best gift you can offer them. Start an education plan today. Fix. Save now to build a better future.
Newly open campus offering programs. Get a degree for under 25 grand. 60 years, we providing highest quality learning. Same thing open campus doing. Online, on site, on demand. We know you better, prepare you better for the region and the world. Let us make your dreams unfold. Online, on site, on demand.
Apply today. Visit our website at www.open.uwi.edu.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Welcome to Youth Talk. This is a segment of Off Limits, which highlights the achievement of young people. In this season, we will be featuring university graduates, entrepreneurs, and persons who have contributed positively to the hotel sector. In today's segment, we will be featuring a young university graduate who has persevered despite the obstacles. Meet Lydia Daria. The vibrant, modest youngster continues to excel and set a positive example for young women on the island. Daria, who is a first-class honors graduate at the University of the West Indies, has persevered irrespective of the major stumbling block placed in her way. The tenacious graduate attained a bachelor's degree in management, and soon after attaining her master's degree, she attained a fellowship opportunity at the CARICOM Secretariat to help advance the work of the Caribbean single market and economy. Nevertheless, her numerous awards and achievements did not come without its setbacks. Chief among them was losing her mother, who passed away after a severe illness during her studies.
My mom fell ill a year after I started the program. And so, you know, it's difficult to be there trying to work for an assignment and know your mom is in the room next to you, you know, suffering and that kind of thing. So this was indeed a constraint I somewhat experienced while doing the program.
The UE honor student says seeing her mom suffer broke her heart. She was devastated. After struggling to pay her studies, she ran the risk of dropping out.
My mom's illness took an unexpected turn. At first, the symptoms she had seemed normal, and she went to the usual doctors and stuff, but as time progressed she did not get better but rather worse, and this did have an impact on me school-wise. My mom is my role model, she's my inspiration, she's my counselor. Well, she was at the time, and while sometimes I'd be studying, she would be there waiting with me, and she just gave me strength to continue. And because of her illness, she was not able to give me that strength. And there was one she had to leave to go to Cuba for medical treatment, and I got a D in one of my subjects, Sarah. Not because I was not capable, but because I did not have that support. I just did not have her around to tell me, like, yes, you can do it. You know, you have it in you, just go and give it your best shot. And I just did not have the inner strength to continue. But following which, when my mom came back, following that treatment she got in Cuba, she somewhat bounced back a bit, and so I continued progressing with the program. But towards the end of my program, in 2010, that was the worst of all, because I was in the last lap of the program, just finishing off, had done really well so far, and my mom's illness took a different turn for the worst you could imagine. To see, you know, you there and you have to feed your mom. This is something, Sarah, you know, a mother of like 42 years, you would not expect. You've had conversations with your mom and you'll be like, when I have my kids, you know, Mom, I expect you to be there guiding me. But, you know, these conversations we had, from what I was realizing, you know, it would have not come to happen. And I graduated in October 2010 and my mom died September 23rd, 2010. And while I was graduating, for me, it was an achievement, but it was not complete because I did not have that support. Yes, I was going on the stage to shake the hand with the UWI Chancellor and to get management degree first class honors, but it just was not an achievement for me at the time.
Daria, who works with the Ministry of Commerce and Consumer Affairs, says the loss of her mom still saddens her. Nevertheless, she continues to find strength in her weakness. Soon after her mom's passing, Daria received a scholarship from the Organization of American States to pursue further studies. The scholarship allowed her the opportunity to pursue a master's degree in international trade at the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill campus. Daria believes her guardian angel, her mom, had a lot to do with her attainment of the award.
I opened my inbox and then I see this email. Congratulations, Lydia. You've been awarded the UWI scholarship to pursue a master's degree in international trade policy. I was overwhelmed. I said, you know what? I'm sure this is my mom giving me some blessings in some disguise.
The University of the West Indies graduate had these words of advice for persons, especially university students, who may be going through personal struggles and find it seemingly impossible to overcome.
Just think positive. Positivity is the key. You know, you have to remain optimistic and see the positive side of the situation you're in, and just know that nothing lasts forever and things will get better with time.
Lydia Daria further expressed gratitude to the University of the West Indies for what she has described as their unwavering support during her difficult times. The university graduate also wishes to one day work for a reputable regional organization. Thank you for joining us for an unprecedented access into important social issues. I'm Sarah Peter. Be sure to join us next time so we can go off limits.
So I keep on walking, yeah. As I keep on walking, my enemies keep stalking. Don't wanna see me reach back home, yeah. As I keep on walking, my enemies keep stalking me. Don't wanna see. UWI Open Campus offering programs. Get a degree for under 25 grand. 60 years, UWI providing highest quality learning. Same thing Open Campus doing. Online, on site, on demand. We know you better, prepare you better for the region and the world. Let us make your dreams unfold. Online, on site, on demand.
Apply today. Visit our website at www.open.uwi.edu.
Are you comfortable with your level of investment? Is your future secure? Fix offers great investment facilities to assist in your financial planning. At Fix, we offer investment plans to meet your individual needs. The Fixed Deposit Plan, Fix Growth Fund, the Special Deposit. Plan now. Feel secure and confident. Choose a Fix investment plan today. Fix. Save now to build a better future.
More than a drugstore, more like family, more like a one-stop shop for all your health and beauty needs. More than a drugstore, it's the People's Discount Trust for caring people at your service, where your health is our business.
Perfume, cosmetics, health and beauty supplies.
More than a drugstore, come on in, you will be surprised. Drugstore, more like family,
For caring people at your service, where your health is our business.
People's Discount Drugs, Laborie Street and the corner of St. Louis and Chisel Streets. Your caring St. Lucian pharmacists.